Hey guys and gals, today we're gonna turn this desk that we got from a garage sale into something completely new. Woo! One of our main attractions is going to be the top of this desk, which currently it's ugly as dog, you know what. I have some friends that know I like to hoard wood of all types. So they said, hey, Derek, do you want this? And I said, of course I want that. I'm gonna slice this up into sections small enough that I can resaw it. And then we're going to glue those back together in bigger pieces. And then we're gonna glue that into a giant panel that we're gonna glue on top of that desk. And it's gonna look like a giant butcher block top desk that cost tons of money and it didn't cost us a thing. We're gonna get some cutting done, some slicing done, and some gluing done, which is gonna take a bit. So now we have our strips so we can resaw them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's great, except what we're gonna do on the ends of the desk to fake our butcher block top, we need these ends in full thickness across here. So I need to cut off a small piece of each one of these, probably 2 of each, so that I have enough for each end to be able to cover on the ends to fake it till we make it, so to speak. So luck would have it, believe it or not, our top is easily removable. So that's gonna help. Because this has a laminate Formica top, I'm not gonna chance it trying to stick that stuff directly to here. So I'm just gonna use this thin plywood and I'm just gonna worry about getting this glued down, and then I can also staple, nail, screw, whatever, this down solid. That way I know that I have a clean surface to glue to when I put all the pieces on here. I'm gonna use epoxy on this little adventure because I think Formica stuff doesn't stick to it very well. That's its main purpose, really. Protection, and stuff doesn't stick to it. And I'm gonna use this epoxy and hope that it has the best chance of sticking. Plus, I'm gonna staple it or nail it on there anyway, so it'll be okay, but I do want it to stick. We left over the big chunk of wood because we want to have solid wood edges on this so I don't have just veneer on the ends, because if I beat it up, it'll still be good. So this is about how thick our top's gonna be. I'm gonna glue these on here to where they are going to maybe look like part of the top. We'll hope, we'll see what happens. I realize the grain is a little different, but that's okay. It's okay, we don't care. So just gotta glue these on there. The way I'm gonna try to fake this end grain on our top is, I got this 1/8 inch plywood. I decided that instead of putting these individual blocks that I got of the end grain, gluing them on there one at a time and trying to get everything good, I'm going to glue them on here first with one side lining up, and then I'm going to resaw it on the bandsaw so it's all one flat piece, and then we're gonna cut all of our joinery and stuff to be able to put it on the desk. But first, I'm gonna quickly just glue all these up on here. It's not gonna be perfect as long as they're touching each other and the ends glued together. That's really the most important part because we can go back and trim it. Here we are straight out of the old glue up, and whoo, say, man, that looks like shit. Well, and you'd be right, it does. So let's try to make that a little better. Why'd we miter the ends, you might ask? Well, it fits nice and snugly in between the end pieces, so it covers it up to where it looks like it's solid on the outside. And then when I put the same angle on the ends of these panels, it's gonna meet up and hide that joint a lot better than just having a thin piece hang over, and that's gonna look like crap. Because we wanna fake it to where it looks, hey, you know what? If it fools one person, if it fools 2 people, I'll be happy. So now we gotta do that same thing on the left side, put the 45-degree angle, and then the panels that are go over the right side, put the 45-degree angle on them so that they meet up nice and tidy. Nice and tidy. So I'm gonna have to move crap out of the way, like always. So now with those angles, we hope we butt this up against there, put it up there, and we mostly close this gap. We got a few tricks we can do if it's not quite closed, but it looks pretty good. So now we just do that on the right side. So now starting with our boards on the right, we put them in there. And we realize that one's short. Son of a... Well, kids, Derek made a boo-boo. I swear I measured this to where there's plenty of overhang on both sides, but apparently I have messed up. We are 5/8 of an inch short on all these. What I'm going to do to fix this is I'm going to cut these longer panels into a couple of smaller pieces, which is going to basically give us access to kind of move things around. I do have this one extra piece. I have 1 foot to play with, which of course is more than enough as long as I think this through and make sure that I cut my pieces where I should, but hopefully I'll measure it right the second time. Okay, we cut this one off, the length, the gap we needed to where we cut this one. Yes, and that matches. None of them match, so it's fine. It's gonna be a little bit of a patchwork job, be okay, it's just for me. Oh, like nothing ever happened. I'll tell you a little secret if you want to have beautiful furniture. This stuff right here, Osmo, I love it. It smells good. It's not like toxic to your lungs. It doesn't feel like it anyway. It's mostly natural. It is a bit expensive, but the nice thing is you can get it in little bitty baby cans, which is what I'm using for this, and bigger cans, of course. Hard wax oil, which I went back and forth on this desk whether I wanted to do that or traditional like polyurethane. There's pros and cons to both, of course. I went with this because I love the smell and I love the feel that it gives. And it is beautiful. And it doesn't take very much to finish. I had actually planned to use cans of spray paint to paint this desk the entire time, but I waited too long, of course, and I'm lucky enough to have some spray equipment, and I had some automotive paint left over from another project. So really, that's the only reason that I'm using this automotive paint to paint this. I would have much rather just used the spray paint because it's much less prep and a whole heck of a lot easier to do. Not to mention the fact that I planned on doing zero any kind of dent fixing or body work in this, so using the automotive paint was even more of a waste, but here we are. Well, this isn't sketchy at all. There we go. Very nice. Quick last minute addition. I think there's just a little bit too much red on the front of the desk. So I'm gonna take up the scraps that I have left over, and this is literally all the scraps I have left over, and I'm gonna frame in kind of just to abstract some angled strips along there to let the red show through part of it, but it's also gonna kind of match at the top. So I just quickly mitered up some scraps, milled them all to the same thickness. I'm gonna glue this up and then cut a bunch of angles to fit in there. Put it on there and see what it looks like. If I don't like it, I'll throw it away.